Let's take a look at some of the most added players on CBS up next on Fantasy Baseball Today Express. Welcome into FBT Express on Tuesday, May 6th. I am Frank Stampfl, joined by Scott White, taking a look at the most added hitters on CBS from this weekend. The top two, Kyle Stowers and Andy Pages, they're right around 75% rostered at this point. Scott, who do you like more between the two, Stowers or Pages?
I like Pages a little bit more, just a little bit more. Mostly because the lineup context is better. And I guess that's really the main thing. It's kind of the Marlins lineup has been okay. It's kind of been middle of the pack so far, but I don't think it's going to stay there. With the Dodgers, obviously, are the Dodgers. So there are reasons for skepticism with both, I would say, in terms of actual performance. But Pages, I think is just going to be bolstered by the lineup that much.
All right, the Orioles promoted one of their top prospects, Coby Mayo, this weekend. Scott, did you have any interest in adding Coby Mayo?
In the right context, as a lark, as just I'm going to take a flyer on this guy and see if that pedigree, those minor league numbers, break through in this second stint in the majors. But it's not. It's not clear how much he's going to play. It's not clear if he's going to be consumed by strikeouts, as happened when we saw him last year. So I wouldn't be giving up anything of real value to pick up Coby Mayo.
All right, what about Javier Baez? We've got this little bit of a renaissance going on right now. Him and JP Crawford among the most added shortstops. Who do you like more between the two, Baez or JP Crawford?
I like Crawford more. Baez, the exit velocities are still pretty weak, and there's not much there for him otherwise. He is really bad at getting on base. And it's not like he's much of a base stealer anymore. So if he's not hitting the ball hard enough that I feel confident in the power production, I don't see a lot to get excited about there with Javier Baez. JP Crawford, on the other hand, he was really useful in fantasy 2 years ago. Hit a career high 19 home runs and never hit even double digits before. And he was especially good in the second half. Great on base guy, really good walk rate. That's always been true for Crawford, but really it was that power that took him to another level 2 years ago. So what happened last year? Well, it seems like his mechanics got out of whack. What led to that breakthrough in 2023 was he worked with Driveline on improving his swing, did better at pulling the ball, and it helped his power play up. He figured out this spring that he had gotten away from driving with his legs, from incorporating those into his swing properly. And he feel like everything clicked back in place for him, and he was going to do what he did in 2023 again. And so far, so good. So far, he's living up to that because he has that recent history of success, because he has that explanation, because shortstop is so weak in terms of players available on the waiver wire. I think Crawford's worth a look just about everywhere.
All right, and then some names in 5 outfielder leagues. Ryan O'Hearn, Max Kepler. We learned that Evan Carter is returning to the Rangers, and Miguel Vargas, who's kind of heated up over the past couple of weeks, Scott. So in some of those 5 outfielder leagues, how would you rank those 4? O'Hearn, Kepler, Evan Carter, Miguel Vargas.
I'd go Kepler 1. And then O'Hearn 2. He's been doing great, but he's obviously going to keep sitting against lefties, so that's a drawback for him. And then what were the other 2 again? I'm sorry.
Evan Carter and Miguel Vargas.
Yeah, I'd probably take the flyer on Evan Carter. Again, it's a lark, just like Coby Mayo. He wasn't doing anything to convince me that he's past the back troubles, or at least the bad effects of the back troubles. At AAA, wasn't hitting the ball especially hard. The production was lagging too. But he is a former top prospect. He's still very young, and the Rangers thought he deserved a promotion. So it's speculative, but if you have the room to speculate, I think Carter would be more interesting than Miguel Vargas.
All right, let's take a break, and we'll be back right after this.
This is what you were made for.
Welcome back in FBT Express. Let's slide over to the most added pitchers now. Tony Gonsolin and Lucas Giolito, most added on CBS, but they're gone already. You can't add those guys anymore. Gunnar Hoagland had a strong debut this past weekend. And then AJ Smith-Shawver here on Monday, Scott, had a great start. 8 innings, just 1 hit allowed, 5 strikeouts, 4 walks, obviously a little bit high there. But who do you like more between Gunnar Hoagland and Smith-Shawver? They both seem, widely available right now.
Yeah, and it's close enough that one start could change things. If Hoagland goes out and strikes out 11 next time, okay, it's probably Hoagland. But Smith-Shawver has had 3 pretty good starts in a row. Each one has been his best start of the season to that point. Obviously, this one against the Reds, he took a no-hitter into the 8th, so he was really doing well. He wasn't missing bats at a great rate, and the walks were high. He had 4 of them, I believe it was, in those 8 innings. But if you look at his season-long swinging strike rate, it entered the start at 13%. It was pretty good. The splitter that Smith-Shawver has really emphasized this year is it's a great pitch, genuinely. And I think part of the reason why he didn't have as many whiffs in this near no-hitter is because he was throwing the fastball more, close to 60% of the time. I don't know that should be the plan going forward for Smith-Shawver. I don't think it's clear enough that he's breaking out that you absolutely have to add him. But there's a little more to go on for Smith-Shawver, and I think the raw skills are a little bit better than for Hoagland, who, don't get me wrong, he looked good in his debut. 20 inches of induced vertical break on his fastball, which he doesn't throw very hard, but you can understand why he got so many whiffs with it in his debut. But at AAA, he only had a 10% swinging strike rate, which is not very good. So, good debut for Hoagland, but I think based on what he's shown us in the minors, I need more convincing that it's going to be a long-standing thing for him.
If you are looking for saves, Scott, the names that have popped up recently on the wire, Shelby Miller and Kevin Ginkel from the D-backs, and then Zach Agnos from the Rockies. How would you rank those 3 if you're just in need of saves right now?
Shelby Miller, Zach Agnos, and then Kevin Ginkel, who may overtake Shelby Miller. Shelby Miller appears to have the leg up for saves with Justin Martinez sidelined, but he definitely had a bad outing last time. It's just that Ginkel hasn't looked particularly strong either, and I'm not sure there's enough time, frankly, because Justin Martinez, he's already scheduled to start throwing again before the end of this week. It doesn't seem like a particularly serious injury that landed him on the IL, and he may be back too soon for anyone, Miller or Ginkel, to gain a foothold. The reason I put Miller ahead of Agnos, though, is because, well, Agnos is a closer for arguably the worst team in baseball, and it is not even clear that he is the closer, and it's not clear that he's capable of missing bats at the major league level. So there's just, that one feels like bottom of the barrel for saves, scraping the bottom of the barrel for saves, desperation play.
All right. For more extensive fantasy baseball coverage, listen to our full-length podcast, Fantasy Baseball Today, on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or anywhere else podcasts are found. Thanks for listening to Fantasy Baseball Today Express, and we will be back again tomorrow. Bye-bye.